Right Angle Sports is one of the most well-respected sports betting groups of the last 20 years. In fact, since 2017, over their last 1,000 releases, they've managed to hit it over a 56% clip in football and basketball. They started posting picks on Twitter, and they even started a Slack channel where they were releasing their moves live for the public at the same exact time. When Right Angle Sports makes a move and releases a play, the market moves as well. We know how important it is to get the best of the number, and by releasing it publicly at the same time, everybody has that chance to do so. We're taking that idea, that concept, and we're bringing it to the big screen, so to speak. Each week here at Bets TV, we will be releasing a Right Angle Sports play to the public at the same time. This is Steam Warning. Welcome back, everybody, to Steam Warning, brought to you by Right Angle Sports here at the Bets TV studios. I am Preston Johnson, your host, hanging out here in studio with Daquan Young. He's producing over there on the side. We have another release coming very shortly from Right Angle Sports for college football here. Finally, week one, like the real week one, is around. It was rough last week. You guys can get it out in the chat while we wait for people to join. We'll give you guys a few minutes before we start this up, and I explain how it's going to go. UTEP to Mexico State. Didn't really get that close. Mexico State could not score at all. I think they had 5 trips inside the 25, and they had 3 points. Like, it was brutal. Sometimes the worst team in the country finds ways not to score the football. We do have Kansas State pending from the first show we did 2 weeks back. They're now up to -3. Right Angle released that at pick. Hopefully bodes well for everybody that was able to get that. We'll add a third to the docket here in a bit. Tell us, while we wait, I want to give everyone another minute or two, your week one bet on the card. Hit it in the chat. I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat a little bit more, be a little more engaging and interactive. He's calling for Sammy Boy. Do you know who Sammy Boy is, Quan? At the only Big Tim said, Sammy Boy, you in here? I don't know what it means, but it just sounds good. Sammy Boy. All right, well, we're waiting another minute. You guys can drop your favorite play week one. I'll tell you if I agree, disagree, neutral opinion. I'll also explain for those that are tuning in for the first time how this works. Like Right Angle Sports, they release a play, the market moves. So how we're doing it, releasing it at one time, we set up a play. We tell you what it may or may not be. We don't tell you to submit it. We either say go after we count down from 10, or we tell you to cancel. They want to keep everyone on their toes. They don't want anyone to front run the pick. They want to make sure everyone can get the best number possible before the market moves. Right Angle could give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 options before we officially fire on a play. So everyone is aware. I want to make sure you're knowing that. Ohio +2, Broncos -2.5 for the NFL, UCF, App State -10, LSU, UCLA under, Georgia Clemson over from Tom Davis. Congrats, by the way. Tom Davis won our Last Word Cheetah August prize pool, pocketed $700. The dude was a crusher. I'm not sure I have any opinions on any of these, although I think everyone likes UCF that I've talked to. That seems like an extremely popular play. For tomorrow night, Thursday, kicking things off against Boise State. 2 new coaches. We'll see how much Gus Malzahn sticks with the Heupel scheme, up-tempo with the Black Knights. Round robin on Last Word Cheetah Friday is correct, Ryan? You asked. We will run that on Friday. I'll also give my directional side on every single side for the Saturday slate. Maybe helpful and informative for some, maybe not. Any round robin? Yes, Todd. We're going to roll it Friday on my show, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, every weekday. But Fridays will be the round robin day. I know we get lucky and hit those occasionally, and so that's probably the thing that people have asked me the most for in my life on Twitter. What's the moneyline round robin for underdogs this weekend? And that's just what anyone wants. All right, we'll give you guys 30 more seconds. I'm going to hit up the DM with Right Angle, and we'll load up the first play. Again, don't hit it. We'll count down from 10. Juan's got us a little countdown clock. We'll go 10 seconds. I'm going to say go or cancel. After that, once we do go with an official play, we'll pull up Don Best, look at the market move. I'll have a little discussion, see if I have an opinion myself on the play, and we'll go from there. Appreciate that, Shankopotamus. All right, we're good. We'll load up the first play. We are going rotation number 151. So that is Friday, September 3rd. 151 Duke, Charlotte, over 58.5. I'll give you guys about 15, 20 seconds to load it, and then we'll start the countdown. All right, I got the word. We'll start the countdown, Quan, when you hit the clock. He doesn't have the clock. That's right, I can count down from 10 too. We'll see if he gets it. You guys got 5 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It's a play. First one right off, Duke Charlotte over the 58.5. Also playable at 59, but I see even some 57.5s and 58s in the market on screen. Quan, you can pull up Don Best when you get a second here and figure out how to count down on your clock over there from 10. You went like 1 for 3 last week, and then I think you went over 1 today. It's all right. You'll get it down. There you go. It's already lighting up. You see the middle of the screen or the bottom, Duke Charlotte over the 58.5, 59. All right, I got to pull up some notes on this game. By the way, Quan, you said you were going to actually bet this one. Did you forget about that? Any idea why it's off on DK? I saw 57.5 there, juiced minus 115. I couldn't tell you. Moved the whole point. Give it another few seconds. It's probably going to move a few more. By the way, my personal projection, I do agree with this play. I have it lined at 63. Quan, you can just leave this screen up for a while. Someone else that I work with also has this lined right around 63. So just from a sheer numbers perspective, I think there's a little bit of an advantage at 59 or better. A few notes on Charlotte before we get into the disaster that was Duke last year. So Charlotte, their quarterback, Chris Reynolds, he it might have been like this first series of the season last year, which is a weird shortened COVID series, but he tore his labrum. And he played through it the entirety of the year. And in 2019, he was like elite at quarterback under center. I think he graded out as a top 5-ish PFF quarterback that year through the air, on the ground. He was making plays. Look, last year he couldn't run. He had a torn labrum. He couldn't take hits. Take that away. He's not going to be as efficient through the air. He's healthy now. So the Charlotte offense is probably the best, or at least an argument that they're the best in the Conference USA. I think will be even better year 3 with Reynolds being healthy out of the gate. Defensively, they graded out as, the second worst cornerback unit in all of football. All of their opponent EPA through the air, 112th, success rate, 109th. They also were way below average against the run. If there was one team that this Duke offense that ranked bottom 5 in the country the last 2 years after Daniel Jones left for the NFL, there was one team that could figure it out against, it's probably Charlotte. So week 1, regroup. What's his name? Gunnar Holmberg, I think, the quarterback for Duke. I could be wrong on his name. I apologize if so. I don't have it in front of me. But Gunnar I think he had 28 total dropbacks in his life. He has to take over. He's supposedly a running quarterback. That was his thing out of high school, but he hasn't really run a ton. Can Cutcliffe, who by the way is probably on the hot seat, can their offense be better than bottom 5 in the country against the Charlotte defense that's bottom 5, especially through the air? And then when you look on the defensive side for Duke, they lost their best cornerback and their 3 best rushers. And what's interesting about the way they graded out, they were 99th overall defensively in EPA. They graded out a little bit better, but still below average in success rate. They had one of the best pass rushes in college football in the country, but they lost all 3 of their main defensive ends, either to graduation. I think one might be in the NFL, drafted late, or it was a scout team acquisition right after the draft. And then one transferred to Penn State. So now you were a below average defense, even against the pass, with one of the best pass rushes in college football. Now you lose 3 of your guys that were rushing the passer while losing your best corner. I don't know. I think the Duke's defense might be in for a little awakening, and against our guy, Chris Reynolds, in the Charlotte offense. It makes sense to me. I think it lines up. up to 60.5 some places here on the screen. But this is one that my numbers agreed, and there's probably some upside on the Charlotte quarterback based on the metrics and numbers from last year now that he's healthy. And if that's the case and the Duke defense takes some time to recoup their 4 main defenders they lost from last year, which, again, the unit already was grading poor, and the offense can't be much worse. Lines up to me. I think it's the right side. I'm sorry, Quan, that you didn't get a bet in. But
I'm going to be hurt if this is a good bet.
I think it is. I think this is a W. I didn't know about UTEP, New Mexico State. I kind of tried to make the argument for it, but my number was actually lower than where it closed. This is one that I definitely agree with. I think it'll keep trickling up. So hopefully people were able to snag it. I should pull up the chat again. Sorry, guys. I was focusing on my notes, see what everyone was able to snag. But looks like 59.5, some 60. It looks like most people were able to get it, though. It looks like one person had to get 59.5, up to 61 one spot. But that's it. 151, Duke, Charlotte, for the Right Angle Sports release. Quan, next time, if you get the clock countdown correct on the 10-second countdown, I'll give you a free roll on the Right Angle Sports play. All right?
That's a
you got $100 free on their play next week if you can get the clock countdown to start at around 10.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah. We'll get it figured out. Thanks for those that tuned in real quick. It's a quick show. They released the play. We're going to have some positive expected value going forward. Friday night, Duke Charlotte over the 58.5. Good luck, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.